My name is Z. I do mixed media art. I was born in Thailand, but I moved to America in 2011.
My name is G. I'm a multimedia artist, mainly illustration though. I'm from Des Moines, Iowa.
I got my first hand-me-down sketchbook from my older sister when I was in first grade, and that's kind of where I just started making more art.
I've wanted to be an artist since I was in preschool, so I've been doing art all since then, but I probably really cracked down in about 4th grade when I started taking classes from a college professor.
I just like my art because it's just a way to express myself. I feel like I couldn't express myself the same way I express with mixed media than I would with like modern type of art.
I like my art form because it is uniquely mine. No one else can create like I do because it is physically coming from me and only me.
I get ideas in my head and then I scroll on Pinterest for like hours until I find something. Usually it's more than one thing, and when like I have an idea for like a topic I want to focus on with my art, and then I'll add little ideas into like one painting. And then my favorite part is just like putting it all together and just seeing like the finished product.
I have two polar opposite processes. One, it could be totally spur of the moment. I had a really cool idea that I need to execute immediately, or it's months or hours or something like of planning and doing research and a bunch of stuff that goes into it. It's one of those two, always.
My favorite pieces that I've made is a piece I made about my time in the foster care system. I feel like that one has really connected with me, the process of making it and just being able to express that emotion through art.
My favorite pieces probably include my original characters. One of my favorite things is creating, backstories for them and storylines between them and other original characters, and they each have like a little piece of me that's not like exactly a portrait or depiction of me, but it's just a part of me.
My favorite artist that I take inspiration from is Basquiat. I just love his way of talking about the world, like in his art, and just like how much feeling it has in it. I get inspiration from the people around me and just the struggles they've gone through and struggles that I've gone through.
Definitely comic book artists. I grew up on Batman, Spider-Man, and all those, and then I've had webtoons since a very young age, and I've always wanted to create my own webtoon comic. Definitely my biggest influence.
Especially if I'm sharing my art with other people, I just really hope that someone sees it and it's just like, they just feel connected to it and it just helps them get along in life.
A lot of things motivate me to create art. A lot of times it comes from emotion. I've had a hard time expressing emotion since I was very young, so I use art to get it through, whether it be from a very symbolic piece or a literal like comic strip. It always conveys the emotion I'm feeling, whether it be sadness, anger, like overwhelming joy, excitement, that kind of thing.
I hope to take my art to where I have more people coming to see it and be known as someone who like helped this person because they saw my art. It was just enlightening.
I want to have my own comic, also just be able to do character design for other people, other comics, anything that involves storytelling really with art. I continue to express myself in a way that is just uniquely me, and same thing with my art. I've gotten a lot of critique or sometimes bullying about the art that I create, or like just the way I present myself, but I wouldn't change it for the world. It's me, and it's what makes me happy.
This piece is called Consume. I made it because of just like one fast fashion and how people just want more and more and more. And I read a lot on how like in some places they're being forced to work for barely a living wage. It just really hit me. So many products are being sold. The people who made it had to suffer through that. This is called Beauty in Darkness. What it kind of represents is that some people don't really like showing how they're feeling. They keep it all inside, so they just come out as this like blank slate. Once they let out their like true colors, it's like really beautiful.
So this one is called Individuality. The word is crossed out because it is about society and the government's like oppression of individuality. The bodies of people, but their face are covered up with numbers. The person in the middle its mouth is being covered, and it's in bindings that have slurs on them. It expresses a certain anger, a desperateness to just kind of break out of those chains.
This one is called Home. It represents my time in the foster care system. There's a lot of pictures, compacted together. You can really see a lot of everything. This is still human. I have friends who are trans, and there have been a lot of riots, as in the bathroom and a whole bunch of stuff that have really impacted them. The pink is in the background, as in societal colors, as in girl is pink and then boy is blue.
It is called Born Again. The premise of it is a woman who was sexually assaulted and killed. From her wound arises a version of herself that is stronger and has grown and changed. It's to show that from tragedies you can grow and become a better, stronger person and fight for the rights and the freedom and the exposure of yourself and other women and men who go through it.
This one is called We Can Do It, which consists of Rosie, and she's just a really powerful woman. I was always I'm gonna be like that when I'm older, and sunflowers I see as very powerful, and it's just, I see them both fitting good together. This is called Beauty and Curves, because even when I was really young, I feel teachers and adults would comment on a child's body and stuff. I feel everything was just represented on being an hourglass and being perfect. On TV, you would see perfect bodies, and I just wanted to show people that even with curves, you can still look beautiful.
To sleep is to dream, but dream is crossed out, replaced with scream. It is about nightmares and nightmare disorders. The depiction is someone laying in their bed with their eyes wide, almost stapled open, and then images inside are creepy or unsettling images to depict the nightmares that were going on if they did fall asleep.
This one is called Innocence. Even from when I was in elementary, adults and everyone so just absorbed in the idea of dating and how you look, and just everything was really sexualized. And I feel that really killed the innocence in the child, as in they're just focused on all this other stuff when they just forget how to be a kid. That one is called SA, which is sexual assault. And the person in the middle is a child. The red hands are just kind of wrapping around them. I wanted to show that the sexual assault around kids and how it's just really scary to experience. Just trying to find that safe place, but you feel so surrounded by just fear and stuff. And then on the sides of it, it says she was asking for it, boys will be boys. And just stuff that people will say to defend why they would do such things.
This one is someone's stomach exposed, basically, and it's all cut out except for the spine part. And it is about eating disorders, specifically anorexia and bulimia. Spine is kind of showing what they quote unquote truly look like, which is very malnourished. All the shading is the word fat over and over and over and over again. They have a image of themselves that is not there, and it's called negative 10-pound diet.
Painting is called Corruption. I really just took a bunch of things that I feel the world struggles with. Government corruption, the use of just being absorbed into social media, gun laws and how just hurting kids, 988, which is the national suicide hotline number, and how that's something kids should know.